It's been so long.
It's surreal. Just,
I know.
Look.
You want to play the hair? Oh, he gets to play with the hair.
No, I just want to touch
I like
It's
this.
the,
This
he's
is
a
weird.
he's a
This is
silver
good.
fox.
Yeah.
All right, hey guys, welcome to Atheist Edge. I've got a very special guest with me today, and this is Stephen McRae of the formerly of the Non Sequitur Show, probably again of the Non Sequitur Show at some point, hopefully. Yeah, he's doing his own stuff over there with Cheshire and those guys. So he's back on track and with us here today in the studio, and we're glad to have him. Thanks for being here, Steve.
Well, I appreciate it. I cannot believe that I'm actually in Texas.
I couldn't
It's
either.
one of those states I never thought I was going to come back to.
Oh, well. Yeah.
But you know what? Everybody's been so friendly down here. I'm actually really impressed. We went out. We had some nice outings. We met some nice people. I like it. I actually like Texas now.
It's a good environment. We like it. And I am going into this one completely blind because Jim wanted me to I guess be a natural reaction to the stuff that he's going to give us. So Jim is going to be off camera telling us what we're going to be talking about.
Reminds me of Bullinator. He's usually like the voice of God.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
Above just talking.
So Jim's
at
God
us.
now?
Apparently.
Altheist. Okay.
Okay.
Bonus round.
Bonus. All right.
You guys get to choose between two on this one. Is it existentialism or immigration policies?
I know which one I know more about.
Yeah, I'm going to put immigration policy. Just because.
Immigration.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm going to let him carry.
We just do the random topic and we just start talking about it then, I guess.
If you don't make it to 17 minutes, you pick another one. We go to 17
Oh man, we can talk about immigration for way longer than 17 minutes, but okay. Immigration, what is there to say about it? I'm okay with legal immigration.
Well, I know there's been a lot of things for like Syrians trying to come in, and they had certain immigration laws for them to actually come in and be, I guess, assimilated.
Right.
And so
yeah.
I'm all for a melting pot, all for America being people coming over, having visas, whether they're from educational visas or work visas. I believe that we should have a influx of people. I think it should have to be, obviously, there needs to be some regulations to it because you can't just have
everybody can't just flow across the border unchecked.
Absolutely, but I do think that there should be ways that people be naturalized citizens, especially if they're from any other country. They can come in, get their visa, work for however long it is, and then become actual naturalized citizens.
I think it's 5 years. You have to do
Something
a minimum
along
of
those
5 years. You have to be a legal resident for 5 years. You have to get a green card.
And then I think you have to actually have something kind of
right, because a
employment
visa
or,
isn't a permanent residence.
right.
Yeah.
It just allows you to have entrance to the country, as far as I understand, and then you.
And then you have to go. You're supposed to go back when it expires.
Right.
And I would say, see a lot of people. I butt heads with people on this because they think that I'm just trying to say, oh, just shut the southern border or stuff like that. And I'm not saying that because a lot of people don't realize is that the biggest biggest portion of illegal immigrants in the country are visa overstays and people who avoided what's the job thing where E-Verify. They've avoided E-Verify somehow. And so it's not really like there is a crisis at the border because we have many people who are trying to gain entrance at non-legal points of entry.
Which is dangerous. I mean,
dangerous.
It's not just the fact. I mean, they're coming across and people die doing that.
Kids are dying and stuff like that.
Do I think a wall is a good
Yeah.
idea? No. I think that's kind of not feasible. I don't think it's necessary. I do think, though, maybe we should have like drones flying at least, but that's for safety reasons more than anything else. But I think if there were more ways for people to come from either north or south, and it would be done legally, they wouldn't need illegal immigration. So I think that's something that America needs to work on.
Right.
These our policies have not been that great for trying to get legal immigration in.
Yeah. Well, it's all about trying to regulate the flow. I mean.
True.
We already because people gripe I'll let my left-wing friends they like to gripe that we should just be letting these people in and you shouldn't be trying to keep people out of the country, and I'm like, well, we already let in more immigrants than any other country on the planet. So I mean, how many people do we need to we're doing hundreds of thousands of people every year.
Yeah, and I think every country needs to know who's coming in and out.
Right, exactly. You should Jim. I know Jim has something on this, so.
I know what you're.
Is he legal?
I know
he's
what
legal.
You're gonna say. Hi, Steve.
Hi, buddy. I missed you so much. It's been so long.
It's surreal. Just,
I know.
Look.
You want to play the hair? Oh, he gets to play with the hair.
No, I just want to touch.
I like this.
He's a silver fox.
Yeah, you're allowed to.
I know what
like
your
it.
answer is going to be to this, but I just want to bring it up for the viewers. I forgot what I was going to say.
You touch the hair and the
He
mind
touched the hair
goes, right?
and his mind went blank.
It has a magical
Now,
effect.
as far as putting barriers to restricting immigration, should it be merit-based, based on your level of education and what you can bring to bear to make
contribute it
America
to our
better?
society, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with that, like, to an extent. Like, people are coming to this country. You got to understand that a lot of people come to this country for an economic opportunity. They're not coming here with opportunities at their feet already. They're not, we're not getting a lot of doctors and lawyers and stuff like that coming from the
Yeah,
south,
I don't think
from
they
the
need to
southern
be though.
border.
I think they just need to be. If they're coming in and
If they're legitimately right, if they legitimately want to look for work and they're not criminals and they're
I got no
not,
problem with that.
and they have no intention of coming here and messing anything up for anybody, you know what I mean? That's fine, and that's a good thing. And I definitely agree with the point you made about. I have a little nuance to it, but I agree with the point that you made about we should have multiple ethnicities.
Oh, yeah.
It should be a melting pot.
Yeah,
and we already do have that a lot. I mean, that's what it
We're-
started as.
Who wants a homogenized society
Right.
in America? That's not what America's about.
The only place I might part ways with you on that is I believe in multi-ethnic society in America, for a multi-ethnic society for America. I don't think it's a multicultural. I don't think it should be a multicultural society. I think we should all have a culture that we can unite around.
I think you have both. I mean, we can have multicultural things, but I think that America has its own culture, and I don't think it should lose that. I will part ways a little bit. I'm going to go out in field here because I actually think that
we have to disagree about something.
Yeah, I actually think English should be the official language. And
I actually agree with you on that. Probably.
let me tell people why, because it seems to be some.
Yeah, you tell me why, because I thought I had a good reason.
The reason why I think
you tell me.
In any society, communication is important. Every society in history has always had a language that is kind of the language of the.
Everybody understood that's what you spoke.
Common tongue, and in America, English has been the common tongue, and so I think that should be either an official or at least primary language, and that people want to learn secondary languages. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should be able to spend billions of dollars on printing things up in 15 different languages.
Exactly.
I don't think it does anybody any good. Plus, it harms them from trying to assimilate and learn the language by coming in. And if I know that I'm moving somewhere else, I'm gonna have to learn that language, and I have no problem with that.
Right. Yeah. I think I believe the same thing too, because Aaron was here a couple months ago, and we were having this discussion, and he was trying to say, well, don't you think you ought to just be able to go wherever you want? And I'm like, well, if I go to another country, they ought to be able to know who I am before I go there. They're a sovereign nation. We have sovereignty. You know what? The citizens of a country own the country.
Absolutely, that's their soil.
We
MSCs
own
are
this.
their soil.
Yeah. We own this. So, I mean, it's just like at your house. It doesn't matter what scale you want to put on the issue. It could be your house or it could be a nation. You don't let people in your house that come to knock on your back window and say, hey, can I come in? You say, if you let me know who you are and you come around to the front door, maybe we can work something out, right?
I mean, I've been to many different countries. I'm in all over the world, and I don't go to another country thinking that they have to cater to
that they
me
have
as
to.
American,
It's
right?
an expectation.
They have their own rules. They have their own laws. Going in, and I've been over like the Arab countries, right? And
they're much
United
stricter
Arab
than the United
Emirates and
States, yeah.
Bahrain, and you try to pull this. Well, I'm an American. They're gonna be like, we don't care.
Yeah, we really don't care.
They don't care. Singapore is that way too. You break the law in Singapore, you're done.
Oh yeah. The caning and all that stuff. Yeah.
You chew gum and you spit out gum on the.
Oh yes,
like
I've heard of that.
Fine.
Yes.
You get prison time.
That's something I've heard, that they're so clean there that
it's
like
immaculate.
littering is like a felony to them or
it's
something.
immaculate.
Yeah. Come on. We got other people who want it. Come on.
This is Colin.
Colin,
Yes,
we're gonna have
Hey, I'm
Colin.
So when we had general military training before we pulled into
that's
Singapore,
right, you were in the military
Yeah,
training,
I was on a submarine, and they would have us come in and talk about all this
Sailors,
stuff.
3 sailors.
Yeah.
in a row.
Right, we're all sailors.
Jesus
Yeah.
What a
Christ.
sausage fest!
What a sausage fest, man.
Sailor
But they
fest.
were talking
Hunter
about
Cave, it's underway.
100
whatever.
sailors come down, 50 couples come
50
up.
come up. That's what I'm
it's
saying.
150 and 75. This number's right.
Are you boomer or fast tag? Fast tag. Okay.
He never saw port, in other words.
Yeah.
No, other ones.
Oh, I thought it was the fast attacks that were like the ones that stayed underwater all the time.
No,
it's
we
the
got
other
seaboard,
ones.
yeah,
Okay.
But to the point when we pulled into Singapore, they were like, and if you get caught spitting on the sidewalk, you will get a ticket, because they were so people
yeah.
were spitting, and it was all the white people and all the Europeans that were like, we'll make it illegal, and now the only people getting arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the subway cards, they even have little things like if you flick the corners of the subway cards and you bend them. Yeah,
That's illegal?
Yeah, there's actually signs
Oh,
of the subway
because
card
it's
and no.
a property of
Yeah,
the subway
exactly. Oh, yeah,
authority or whatever, yeah.
They have really, like you said, no spitting on the sidewalk, no the gum.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's just like here, though. If you mar your state-issued ID in the state of Texas, you can be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's actually a crime. Because it's a government document. It's
theirs,
owned.
yeah.
It's technically owned by the state of Texas.
That makes sense.
Good.
You guys ready for a new subject?
Yeah, I think we could talk about it more, but I mean,
You want to keep going?
What rate were you?
What-
Those electricians made nuclear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you a nuke too?
Yeah.
Get out! Woo! Yeah, the shit's made
Two
nuke.
nukes.
Two nukes.
You were a
Reactor's
nuke.
fucking critical.
Point of adding heat, baby.
You were a nuke.
Really?
That's crazy, man. God is gonna serve us up another juicy morsel.
You want to talk about Steve McRae drama or the Kalam Cosmological argument?
I don't want to talk about Steve
I
McRae
don't,
drama.
who wants to talk about drama?
Steve McRae doesn't want to
I don't
talk
even
about
talk
Steve
my own
McRae drama.
I'm on vacation.
All right.
I leave the drama aside
I'll
because I'm
get.
like,
You wanna
I'll
address
toss you.
anything?
I'll serve to you. I'll
well, there's
serve
nothing
to
to really
you,
address
and you
this.
go off.
It's
What are
funny.
you guys going to hit?
I'm gonna-
Or Steve McRae.
What do the Kalam?
The Kalam,
Yeah.
because I have a perfect serve to Steve. So my problem with the Kalam is that it never actually points to God. It just says that when something begins, it has to have a cause. And to me, I think it's been hijacked by apologists, trying to use it to get to the deity without the causal link in between to show why it points to God.
Okay, yeah, I can't disagree with that. I mean, the Kalam is a logical argument. The Kalam
It is a logical
logically
argument.
valid. So
Yes.
a lot of people will
it's
say that's
valid but not sound.
Well,
I don't.
It depends. It can be. It can be. Some people call it sound too. I don't really care one way or another. I don't think it is. I reject both premises, the initial premises. But I think the biggest issue I have is there's a slight equivocation when we're talking about causes, right? So the Kalam basically goes along the lines of everything that has a beginning has a cause. The universe had a beginning, therefore the universe has a cause. And you, as you said, you would have to extend that later
to
get
show
to
how
a
you
type of
got to
deity.
the
Right. So when we're talking about causation,
finish your thought.
I just said we have a chain of causality, and so if there's an infinite regression of causal relationships, then there wouldn't be a cause. It could just be something that along the lines of either an infinite regress or just a brute fact that exists, which is a contingent fact from all other contingencies flows, which is
causality
fine.
is a contingent
So if you accept there's a
framework.
causal relationship, and which I think can be broken because in quantum there's things that don't have causal relationships.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and that
Wow.
the Kalam didn't really take that into account. For example, weak nuclear decay, spontaneous fission. These things happen without causations. They are actually effects without cause because there legit is no information in that system prior to these types of events. So there's nothing to look at and say, oh, there's a hidden variable here. There's no
can't,
variable there
nothing to
even-
observe, yeah.
There's nothing there to even exist. It just is a brute fact. And so if you take into account the other options that there is no actual causation, no causal chain, or if you just say, you know, well, there's some kind of cause here as a metaphysical necessity. There's only so many different options, like the Munchausen trilemma.
Yeah.
You either end up with a regress causal chain for something that's contingent, or the infinite metaphysical necessity,
Jim.
which people would then call God.
Right.
Jim, God, where are you?
Tell me if
I still missed you again. Look at this. I'm seeing
It
you a
is
lot
so
lately.
fucking
Look at our merch.
I
need
know.
Look at this, look at
I
this.
need to steal you. I want to roll you up.
You can
and
borrow
put
me
you in
anytime.
my
I'm like,
vagina
I just
to
might
know
like
that
fly
you're
down
there.
here every so often.
Right?
I-
Just
right?
as a yeah.
It's not
Just,
that far.
just to come kick it.
Yeah.
Tell me
This
if
guy's
I'm way
a
off base.
party
Sure.
animal too.
Tell me if I'm way off base here. Premise one fails, and here's why.
Okay.
Everything that begins to exist has a cause. We have no idea of anything that has ever begun to exist because, and now you're probably going to tear this apart because I've heard some arguments. At t equals 0 was the singularity. Everything already existed. We don't know when something didn't exist.
Right, we know-
Okay.
we
There
don't
has
know-
never been a time.
we're not aware of ex nihilo.
Time and matter are the same thing. We don't know of a time when anything didn't exist.
All right. So
Yeah.
okay, when it comes to like there, you can get to time equals 0, which is in a big.
Well,
big
we
cosmology.
can't know. We can't see what that looks
No,
like, but
we can do.
We know it exists.
We can
right.
there's actually a way. Hawking has a theory called the no boundary proposal, and the new boundary proposal allows us to actually go and look at mathematics and say, okay, if we use what's called imaginary time, we can actually model to time equals 0. Okay, so if you're going to run the thing that there's some kind of causal chain relationship, there was no time to have a causational chain prior to that. There's not, when we talk about before the Big Bang, it's a nonsensical statement for the most part, because nothing to say there exists something when nothing, even time existed. Then yeah, so I think the first premise does fall as well, because I don't think that anything that has a beginning must have a cause necessarily. I don't subscribe to what's called the principle of sufficient reason. And
PSR is what we talked about last night.
The PSR there's a couple different versions of it. But
there's another video. By the way, before he explains it, there's another video of the book club, the Atheist Christian Book Club. If you check that video out as well, Steve goes into a little bit more about PSR.
That was last night.
And that was last night, and that was an awesome time that we had last night with those guys. And I'm also going to take an opportunity. I'm going to try to do it in the middle of the videos now, because people don't, when you get to the end and they hear that we're wrapping it up, they usually turn off. So I'd like to take a moment right now to get Jim back in here in the shot. I just need him for a second. If you go
We're at 18 minutes though, so we got to start wrapping it up.
Okay.
End of video. No.
Yeah, so you see the lovely Atheist Edge t-shirt that Jim is wearing, and another Atheist Edge bit of merch that you can find on our Teespring. We have a Teespring set up. Go over there if you want Atheist Edge merchandise. That's set up, and all the proceeds, some of the proceeds help us with the Metroplex Atheist too. So we have the In No God We Trust banners as well, still on t-shirts.
Is that what you needed me for?
So yeah, I just wanted them to see the merchandise. Okay. And a large portion of our viewing audience is tragically unsubscribed to the channel. So if you're watching this right now and you're hearing my voice, please hit that, smash that like button, and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you get you're up to date on all things Atheist Edge. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up to Steve to let people know how they can support his work.
I have my own channel, Steve McRae. That's kind of my own. I do what I want on that kind of channel. People can't tell me what to do with my own channel, kind of thing.
Right, you're a grown man.
I'm a grown man. I could do what I want on my channel. And then I've got the Great Big Community channel, which is kind of a community thing.
Yeah.
It has like a third of the
That's
subs.
a coalition.
Yeah, it's just a catch-all. And then the Non Sequitur show, which obviously was pretty popular. We're going to be trying to start back up as soon as the judge signs orders.
Right.
Kyle to send it back
Hopefully
to us.
by the time this airs, that'll actually have all been taken place. That's why we try not to give any dates or say something that's coming up.
I'm hoping it's anytime soon. Everything's already been pretty much done. It's just I have to get that ordered.
You may be watching this alongside a video of Steve McRae doing the Non Sequitur show.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We've already got a new intro. We've got a new layouts. We've got.
Oh yeah, you got to change everything. I mean, keep the name just because brand recognition. Yeah, it's just but I would change everything else.
We're going back to some original concepts to how we wanted the show to be initially, and obviously, if people follow that show, they know it was changed unceremoniously without my input on that, because I didn't like the direction.
No, yeah. And that wasn't you. That was
that was definitely not me. I like the original format. That's what people wanted with the show. That's what people expected from the show, and that's what we're gonna get back to the audience, because I made a promise to the audience that they are going to be remembered, and they're going to be not unappreciated as I thought that Kyle did. Because I don't think he really appreciated the amount of fans that we had and the amount of people that really look forward to having that show and watching it, because they enjoyed it, and that to me is something that meant a lot to me.
Right, and I guess my take on it is like I watched the show all the time.
I watched it too.
Right, and I just like I saw that there was a direction that it was heading, and it was away from the direction I wanted it to go in.
Me too.
And I saw it as like, hey, you're getting people on, like Kyle was getting people on the show that just wanted to talk about drama stuff and like who's saying what about who and stuff like that. And I saw that, I was like, come on, man, you don't want to attract that kind of audience.
No, I wanted the substantive arguments. I wanted the people with the stuff to talk about.
Right. Exactly.
In fact, even some of the best shows that I thought weren't with actual scientists, even though I loved the discussions we had with scientists. But like, for example, we had like
Communicators
Rick
are fine.
the coin guy, right?
Yeah.
I love those episodes. Something that I have never been exposed to before. I like learning new things.
Pneumatist. Or whatever.
Pneumatist. Yeah, and so those kind of episodes are always my favorite. We had famous, like the people that come on. Those are great. Like we had Lawrence Krauss on. But the ones that featured the people that probably most people wouldn't even know, those were some of the best, because we helped bring new people to the community, we helped getting some new names out there, and we learned things about things that we had no idea before. Right. And I think that was part of our initial mission statement, to be educational and informative and have fun doing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so thanks, Steve, for coming and
thank you guys. I mean, I'm still like elated. I'm just on cloud nine. I had so much fun last night. we had the book club, and I was just taken aback how warm everybody was and friendly. And then we went
was a
out
good time,
and
man.
we indulged. we indulged a little much last night, but.
Dude, you guys tied it on apparently.
We did.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess so.
So I guess that's it.
No, that's what
You
life's all about.
Texans know how to drink, man.
Dude, fucking live life. That's what I'm saying.
That's what it's for,
I
man.
do have to
We're
say about the
Navy.
book-
We're Navy.
We're
and we couldn't
professional
out-
drinkers.
it's-
Yeah.
Oh my God!
We're
I was
professional
still-
drinkers,
I was,
dude.
yeah.
I'm Navy and Czech, so like, and Czech.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you're like got the triple threat
I was
going.
outgunned last
I'm
night. That's
just
for
a
sure.
Marine.
Yeah.
I'm just an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
there's
Right.
Marines,
The-
I think
the-
you're right. Some
the
cultures
sailor-
are lower than others, and then there's submarines.
He's right. We steal all your women, so it's all right. Okay.
Yeah, but you marry him.
Oh.
We marry the fat ones. Have you seen Marines always end up with fat
Dependent
chicks?
Oh man,
Fat chicks.
I don't know.
Okay, I want to just say about last night. You probably are already watching it. It's in our library. The book club meeting he knocked it out of the park. My favorite one prior to this was Tim McGrew, which is a Christian apologist, which it was just a great fucking meeting. The one last night, it generated so many new questions. It had audience interaction. It broke the record for the most live views.
I'm
Oh, on top of that,
surprising.
it was the first time ever I walked away from I've been doing this almost 3 years with the book club. It's the first time I ever walked away from it feeling dumb. I was taking so many,
I know. I was like,
I didn't want to make anybody feel dumb. But, I
definitely didn't know a lot about all of the stuff that was
I'm
being
glad that
talked
people want to
about.
learn that stuff. I'm glad that people are opening themselves up to new ideas and philosophies because a lot of people, even in the atheist community, we know can be indoctrinated just as much as an
Oh, yeah,
atheist.
for sure.
And so
That's a topic for another
yeah,
video.
that's a
though.
whole deal. That's a whole other video we can do.
Just an expression. All you can eat, baby.
When she's a flake, though, she never shows up to our recording
I
session.
am- I missed one because I was out of town.
You missed four.
goddamn
You missed
bitch.
four.
Stop it.
Do you actually do street epistemology?
Where's
I
Chris?
just wanted to
No,
sure.
this-
We're wearing the shirt.
I
know.
Yeah, Anthony
I know,
hooked us up
but
with
I mean,
swag.
do you? Oh.
He just hooked us up.
Representing him.
Represent, girl.
We're repping.
Represent.
We try to. A rising tide raises all boats, man.
Ready, so
Okay.
here we go, guys. Quiet on set.
Hold on.
Yeah, go outside or something.
Get the fuck out of here. Time is money.
Miss you already.
Bye.
Play the hair. Play the
So
hair.
yeah, okay.
There you go.